Thanks for joining us today. This is your host, Kenyatta Goins, along with Roberta Goins and Torrey Jones. And I'm sure we're all so excited that you're here. And our goal is to teach, coach, and train you and make you the best that you could be. Perhaps you're new to real estate or sales, or you could be a seasoned veteran. I'm sure there's something that we all might have here for you to help teach, coach, and train you on and give you the best direction of mentorship that we can do. We've partnered with some of the top producers in the industry, as well as other business professionals and entrepreneurs, and we bring them on our calls weekly and monthly. So you never know what you're going to get, but you're going to get a lot. So always keep your pad and paper with you and enjoy the program. God bless. I'll talk to you after this program is over. I have my good friend Gene Fredrick on here, and I want to thank him for coming and taking his time out to be with us. We have Joyce on here from Michigan. Roger is in, where'd you say we're at again? Sorry, Roger.
Colonial capital of the United States.
Colonial capital. Okay.
Where George Washington freed us.
Where George freed us all.
That's right.
Yeah. I think we went through there in the Gettysburg thing, right?
Right. A little bit higher up.
A little higher up, but went through there. Anyway, I'm going to turn this over to Gene, and he's going to share a lot of good stuff with you and hopefully inspire you to become part of our team, inspire you to become part of the EXP family, which is amazing. And we have so much support, especially look what he's doing right here. He could be doing all kinds of good stuff with his time and traveling and doing seeing the world, but he's going to spend it with us tonight. Isn't that neat? I just love it. Thank you, my friend. Take it over, Gene.
Well, thank you, doctor. I always like saying doctor. Hey, you earned it, my friend. You earned it.
Did that?
My mom was finally got her PhD when she was 60 years old. And I said, why did you wait so long to get your PhD? And because she had 2 masters, she says, I thought you guys would think I was an egghead. I said, you are an egghead. You got 2 masters and a PhD. So, I love education. I'm glad. Thank you for all you do. Hey, I'm here for you guys tonight. The doctor asked me to come on and really, the way I like to do these things is answer any questions you've got about EXP. Where do you think we're going? I got to tell you, I'm very excited today. I had a board of directors meeting. I am on the board of directors for the company, and of course, I can't share a lot after the board meeting. All I can tell you is I'm pumped. I mean, really, seriously, guys. 6 years ago, when I came 6 years and 3 months ago, there were 400 agents in the whole company. Let that sink in. We're going over 60,000 agents this week. We're now adding around 4,000 agents a month. So when I look at it, guys, it's almost I'm pinching myself. Yeah. But what I saw 6 years ago, I'd just been in the business too long. I'd been at RE/MAX. I'd been at Realty Executives. I started my own company in 1989. I'd been at Keller Williams for 21 years. Loved Keller Williams. Was there 21 years. So I'd been in the business 30 years before I saw EXP. And when I saw EXP, I went, this is going to work. And why could I see with a company with 400 agents it was going to work? Because it benefits us. It benefits every single agent. It can benefit the agent. It's an agent model, not a company model. What do I mean by that? Every other company I've been with, if you're the owner of that franchise, you're the one that makes out. I used to own 6 of them. Just so you know, if any of you want to go buy a franchise tomorrow, I will stop you today. I will go fly wherever you want me to fly and grab you by the ankles and say, don't do it. Why? Because you're only buying a little tiny area and you're taking all the risk. I did those. By the way, you're in Palo Alto. I used to own the Palo Alto office. I started that from scratch in 2003.
Oh, crazy. It's awesome.
Hello. Palo Alto office was mine. I sold it 6 years ago. I started it from scratch. I started it with 3 agents. Why do I know that? Because it's tough. They were Alon Pinnell agents. Alon Pinnell just got bought out by Compass a few years ago. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Instead of an owner-driven model, we're an agent-driven model. What's that mean? We all have the same opportunity to go spread the word about EXP. And that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Somebody asked me today on one of my Zooms, she says, well, why is it special? Because we were both at KW for a long time. I said, I'm going to tell you something that's really weird. I've never been in a company where everybody helps each other more than this company.
Right.
Right? Don't you think so, doctor? And why is that? It's because we all own it. It's that simple. During the pandemic, I always tell people during the pandemic, when we were all stuck in our homes, if you owned Coca-Cola stock and you went to Walmart or wherever you went to get your, because I went to Walmart a lot, I did not buy Pepsi if I owned Coca-Cola stock.
That's right.
If you own Ford stock, you're not buying Chevrolets.
Not at all.
So if you own EXPI stock, which we all do, and push the button and do the 5% of your income has a 10% discount every single month. Just push the button. A couple of years from now, you'll go, oh my gosh, how did I get all that stock? And when you all own it together, it changes the atmosphere. And it really does, guys. I have, so many stories I could tell you, and it's just weird because it's hard to explain to people. Because if you're in a good, let's say, Remax office or Coldwell Banker office or Keller Williams office, you've got friends in that one little thing. I have friends all over the world. I have friends now in all the places you guys are, because I'm your friend now, right? Because now we're connected. That's the difference. And it's very, very hard to explain. How many people have been here longer than a year? Raise your hand. Longer than a year. One. I remember you, Tori. I recognize just one. Everybody's less than a year, right? So you're going, what's this company all about? You know what? It's about relationships and it's about helping other agents. So if we can help other agents get stock and rev share, rather than just selling homes, it's okay to sell homes. We're going to sell tons of homes. By the way, if you come to Dallas, our event in Dallas on the 17th and 18th, half of our thing's going to be talked about production. We're not going to just talk about recruiting, which is whatever you want to call it. We call it agent attraction, right? I call it recruiting, mainly because I'm not scared of the R word, right? I want my buddies that are at Coldwell Banker to come over someday. I work on them. So we're going to talk about production in Dallas as well, because wait until you see. I can't even, you guys got me bubbling today because I was on a board of directors meeting just 2 hours ago. It was kind of, man, the numbers are good. You guys are selling homes.
Yeah.
The numbers are phenomenal. The
Stock's
people
looking pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The stock's looking great. We just, I just met a gal, Fraser, her last name. Oh, her name's Kim too. Oh yeah. I remember that. Kim Fraser. She was the #1 agent in Seattle for a small little company called John L. Scott. It's not small. It's 3,500 agents. I just met her 2 weeks ago in the Denver Sprint, doctor. And she said, I said, my God, you're the #1 agent? She goes, yeah, I'm the #1 agent for that company. I said, oh my gosh, we're getting the #1 agent in almost every market. It's crazy. Wow. And she, you know what she told me? Nobody really talked to me about EXP. She was the #1 agent for 19 years. What's that tell you? So nobody talked to her till recently. She saw it about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, she joined. I went, oh, she goes, nobody, because you're scared, right? Aren't we scared to talk to the top producer? Like they're not going anywhere?
Yep.
My advice is talk to all of them. Talk to the top ones first. And just say, love to show it to you somehow, or, go to a lunch and learn, however you guys are doing it. Be very relationship based, more so than don't throw it in their face. We call it EXPing all over people. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do not EXP all over people, because in other words, don't be so aggressive. It doesn't work, by the way. Relationships do. Talk real estate with them. Talk real estate. You guys, if you've heard me speak before, the number one thing you want to know about recruiting is it's all about them, not about you. It's all about them, not about you. So when you know it's all about them, you find out how their business is going, what's going on in their lives. What are they looking for the next 5 years, 10 years? It's all about them, 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 them. I have a saying that I do is tell me about yourself, right? T-May. You guys have heard me say it 2 million times. I've only used it about 4 times today on the Zoom. You didn't even know I did it, right? Well, tell me about yourself, Kimber. Tell me about, I do it all the time. Why? Because it's all about you guys, not me. And when you're recruiting agents, you gotta, it's all about them, right? It's just like buyers and sellers. If you're working with a buyer or a seller, it's all about them, right? What are you looking for? When do you want to sell your home? Okay. You don't go into a seller and march in and go, okay, here's what we're going to do. Right? We're going to list it for this. Here's what we're going to do. Sit down, shut up. We're going. No, they'd boot you out. It's all about them. When do you want to move? What's the time frame? How do we have time to stage it? Same thing with buyers. I look at the same thing when I'm talking to agents. What kind of questions do you guys have for me? I know you have them because you got me all coffeeed up and all. I'm so pumped tonight because of the board meeting.
The new agent that came over, did she bring anybody with her? Or did she just come over, the top seller in Seattle?
She came by herself.
Wow.
Isn't that weird? Now she's only been with us a couple weeks. Do you think it did in fact, the owner of that company, it's called John L. Scott. It's out of Seattle. It's a big company. The owner is Lennox. His first name is Lennox. And she goes, oh, he's being really nice to me. I said, of course he's being nice to you. Because he's afraid if he ticks you off and he's being real nice to her saying, please don't talk to my people, right?
Right.
Well, I said, she won't have to do anything because people will contact her, right? Via social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, you name it, they'll start contacting her. Why'd you move over? Oh, well, let me show you. Well, she won't even have to contact them.
Right. Wow.
So look for top people because they will have a following. I don't tell this story often, but I just saw something on the internet. It popped up 6 years ago. You can look it up if you ever have a boring day and look up my name. And they have a little thing of when I came over 6 years ago. I can remember filming it at my home. And we put that out the day I came. And I was #1 on Yahoo Financial for 2 straight days. Gene Fredrick moves to EXP. Literally. That's my granddaughter screaming in there if you can hear her. Yeah, she's screaming something. But my kids were saying, oh, Dad, you're trending. I said, what's that? I didn't know. I kid you not. I didn't know. What is that? I've been on Facebook for a couple of years. I've been on LinkedIn. What do you mean? Oh, you're trending. The first person that called me was Joe Williams. That's Keller Williams, Joe Williams. He was the founder with Gary. He called me from Hawaii. Says, wow. Gino, what are you doing, man? What's going on? I said, oh, yeah, I'm moving company. Oh, yeah. In other words, people started contacting me. And I'm sure Keller Williams thinks I just got the book out and started calling people. I did not have to. So find somebody with influence, right? They don't even have to go after people. People will start contacting them. Right?
Yeah.
That's what you do. So look for people with influence. And influence is just, shoot, guys, I was retired. I mean, come on. I was retired. Nobody called me from EXP. Did you know nobody called me from EXP? It was one of my agents, Elizabeth Riley, who said, Gene, would you check out this model? I said, sure. I came back 5 months later. I said, Elizabeth, I'm joining. She goes, I want to join too. Then we had to convince our husband and wife to do it. Literally, that's what happened. We talk about it. We had a dinner and our wives and husband, her husband was looking at her like, my wife was like, her arms were crossed, like, you know, and we're going. We went together, but nobody called me from EXP. Look for those people. I was retired, but I had influence.
Still do. Tell that story of how the she asked you about the picking the holes in it.
Oh, which one?
Wasn't recruiting you, but she asked you the questions.
Elizabeth?
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth told me to go. She saw Glenn. Glenn came into Austin and did a presentation. She goes, man, this sounded really good, but poke holes into it. So Glenn came out to Austin and spent a day with me. And quite honestly, I looked at it and went, kind of cool. But then I spent 5 months trying to poke holes in it. And then true story, guys, I came back to my wife after being with Keller Williams for 21 years. We owned 6 offices, Palo Alto, Cupertino, Carmel. We owned those offices. And then I owned a region. And I said, honey, this is a true story. I said, if you knew Netflix existed, would you own a Blockbuster? And she goes, no. And I said, we own 6 of them. She goes, what do you mean? I said, I just found Netflix. This company is going to rock. The first convention I went to in April 24th, 2015, our convention, you guys go to the conventions now, you know how they are. There were 37 people in the room. 37. Wow. Well, we only had 400 agents. And I said, guys, look around. It's never going to be this small again. And they looked at me like I was crazy. I said, what are you talking about? I said, I'm here. Elizabeth is here. We're going. Elizabeth and I got 20 agents in 1 month in Austin. First month. We got 10 agents the next month. We got 30 agents in 2 months. Everybody's like, how you doing that? I said, I don't know. I just meet with them and talk to them. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I am very disciplined. I'd have a meeting at my coffee shop, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Everybody goes, how'd you do it? I said, well, 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, Monday through Friday. Sometimes if I got hot, 5 o'clock. But I'm not really good 4 times. I'm really good about 3 times. I actually knew that. Now, I did everything one-on-one, in person. What we developed was now the lunch and learns. The lunch and learns guys are awesome. I mean, that's what kicked us up a notch. Because instead of doing everything one-on-one, now you do a lunch and learn, get 15, 20 people in a room, the energy's better. Then you set up your one-on-ones after the lunch and learn. You're still going to have to meet with them one-on-one, right?
Torre did his first lunch and learn week before last and did a phenomenal job. So we're starting.
Tell me how it went. Tell me how it went.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it went well. It was with a small group. Just to start, we went with some of our partners out on the west side of the valley. It was really good because we got to kind of run through the various advantages that go with being with EXP and talking about different scenarios and how that might affect your business. And that really kind of tailored into what you were talking about, Gene, in the sense that what we're really trying to do at TGRI is we are a small team and we're trying to expand. And we're also just trying to really translate the message about how, as a small team and as a real estate agent, whether you're new or experienced, just trying to figure out the best way to translate the message that EXP is in the perfect position to really power that growth and that experience. And we're really trying to fine tune that message as we go. And same thing, trying to figure out how we can best utilize EXP to help our agents become successful once we do get them on the team, because that's half of what we're seeing is that every new agent we bring on is like a new use case for EXP. And we really want to demonstrate the power that we really have with being with a company like this.
Well, let me tell you, we started doing them in Austin and Dallas 6 years ago, almost 5 years ago, because the first year I did everything one-on-one. 2 people would show up. Then 3 people, then 5 people, then 10 people. And then after a couple of years, we were having 50 to 60 people in a row. So everything's going to start small, but be consistent. First thing I can tell you is just do them every week. I don't even care if anybody shows up. I'm just going to fine tune my presentation, right? But you have to do it consistently. That's what makes everything work. And
I'm sorry, Gene, what do you think about doing them in the cloud?
They don't work as well. They don't work as well. Let me tell you why. Some people don't have good internet access. Quite honestly, I mean, I have a lake house here in Dallas. It's not so good. It's not so good. So you make it seem like I don't like them in the cloud as much. I mean, you can do them if you want to do them in the cloud, do them in the cloud. You know what I'd rather do? A Zoom. Quite honestly, I'd rather do a Zoom because you can use hand gestures. You can come more alive on a Zoom. I would much rather do a Zoom one every week, or a podcast like this, something like this. You could do those every week. I think in the cloud, it's just, we have too many people that it's a struggle. You know, the agents, I can't get in. I got in, I got kicked out. It's not a good first impression.
And now I just ask you, because I'm a commercial agent, do you have any words of wisdom for commercial agents? Do you think it's any different? I mean, literally, when I got my license, I interviewed with Coldwell Banker. They told me here in Idaho, oh, what do you want to do? I said commercial. They said, oh, it's a good old boy network. It could take you years to get in. And I enrolled myself in EXP because I did the research and found it. So it is a good old boy network here. But that doesn't stop me because I, work nationally. But I'm just saying, do you have any tips? Is it any different? Have you had any experience with commercial?
I know a lot of commercial agents, and we've already got over 300 commercial agents, as you know. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool in about 6 months. So we started back about December. So it's been about 7 months. That's phenomenal. I mean, I would do everything by Zoom because I agree. A lot of the commercial agents are all over the United States. I'd probably do Zooms. And again, set it up every week, whatever time. Here's what I tell folks. You've got to do things on your energy. If you have good energy, you come across well. So a lot of people go, when do you do your lunch and learns? Lunch is good for me. I'm pretty fired up at lunch. Then I talk to other agents. They go, Gene, I do one every Saturday morning. They actually get a lot of people showing up on Saturday mornings. I said, cool. They go, I just have a lot of attendance. And then I have other people go, I do one every Tuesday night, Gene, every Tuesday night, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, when you have energy, do them. And then see if you can get people to show up. But it's the whole key of being consistent. And a lot of people go, there's no magic to it. I got a new saying. It's going to be kind of like my, making real estate fun again. That's been mine for 6 years, making real estate fun again. Well, another saying I've got now for you guys is there's no magic scripts. There's only magic action. Because everybody on these calls usually says, well, what do you say? How do you talk to people? Well, you guys are salespeople. The scripts aren't as important as Tori going, I'm going to really get that presentation down. He'll work on it. He'll get it so good after a while because he'll go home and he'll practice and practice and practice. But he might say it totally different than I do. The key thing is to make the points of I tell people we're not thinking outside the box. We're a whole new box. In fact, we're a whole circle. So I tell them we're a circle. We're not even a box. We're not doing it like you guys are doing it. And then you've got to show them why it's a circle, because it's agent driven, not owner driven. We got stock, rev share, training all the time. KV, you go through all the stuff that we have, insurance, because something's going to hit them. Something's going to hit them when you go through the list, right?
Definitely.
And I know you mentioned Coldwell Banker. I have a really good friend who's a very, luxury, sells a lot. I have a lot of friends that sell a lot. And, what I'm hearing from directors and managers and everything, it's not all about the money for us. It's not about that. It's the culture. We love the people. We like walking to our office that's right next door. We don't want to do the technology. We don't want to do the online thing. I mean, what do you say to those people?
Eventually, every single real estate company in America will be virtual. Write my words down. 10 years from now. Ooh, the lights just went out. Ooh, I'm dark. I like this. Some lights just went out.
Romantic.
Yeah, you just said the mood. Gene, you just set the mood.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I need that. What happened to the lights?
Where's the remote to the light?
I don't know. I don't know. There's my granddaughter. She's in the room with me. Can you feel her? There we go. Thank you. There's my granddaughter. Thank you, honey. She's 13 years old and she looks 17. It's not
Oh my
good.
goodness.
It's not good.
Scary.
Oh, okay. Oh, I met the boyfriend the other day. Boyfriend? What do you mean boyfriend? Okay. What were we talking about? I'm totally off script. Where was I?
She was asking you about commercial and how to get people virtual.
Well,
But you
Well,
said all firms will be.
I just tell people when they go, I like going here, I like going there. I go, good, do that with us. What do you mean? We have people with bricks and mortar. It's a big misnomer that we don't have bricks and mortar, isn't it? I mean, we have big teams that have big bricks and mortar. I have a buddy of mine, Brent Gove, just bought a building. He bought a building. I said, Brent, what are you doing? He goes, Gene, I want the building. I want to well, okay. But EXP didn't buy it.
Where?
Sacramento, Roseville, California.
Uh-huh.
He bought, yeah. So in other words, agents will do their own thing. So you can tell them, look, if you want to go into an office, of course, we've got Regis, that, but it's not just Regis. Do whatever you want to do. I don't poo-poo it if they want to come in. Here's what I tell people. They go, I like to come in and my broker is just right down the hallway. And I said, they're that far away? And they go, what do you mean? I said, we open up our laptop. Why are you having to walk down the hallway? In fact, why did you happen to have to drive to the office? You got to explain I don't know about you guys. Here's how I do it now. I've kind of changed from Netflix and Blockbuster. I just tell them, look, when's the last time you guys shopped at Sears or JCPenney's? And they go, never. I said, I don't know about you, but there's 4 boxes outside my front door with Amazon on. And my wife shops everything at Amazon. I just got another one today. And we're not going back to retail. So when people say, I want to go back to bricks and mortar, I go, okay, I understand that. Go get it yourself if you feel like you have to go somewhere every single day, but get it closer to your home. Don't get it where you have to drive 35 miles, right? Make it convenient. That's okay. I understand that. But I'm just telling you right now, Sears and Roebuck and JCPenney are not coming back.
Never again.
I'm going to order everything on the internet. My last 2 homes I bought, both really expensive homes, one in Breckenridge and one in Puerto Rico, I bought online without seeing. I just put down payment on an 80-foot catamaran. You guys will hear about it in Dallas when you come. But I just put money down on some guy named Rafael Nadal has one. I don't know who that guy is. Oh yeah, he's kind of famous. Rafael Nadal and Gene and Susan Fredrick have the same boat.
Wow.
But here's what I'm going to tell you. I bought it sight unseen. I bought it from videos on the internet. And then I flew to Poland just 3 weeks ago to see it in person. I'd never been on a catamaran. So what I'm telling you, do you think we're going to do things different in the future? Come on. So when I hear guys go, I like to go to the office and have donuts and coffee. I said, well, cool. Go find a place and go have donuts. But EXP is not going to pay for it. EXP won't pay for it because we're smart.
That's right.
That's why we have a $16,000 cap. Right?
That's right. I wish that I had 2 agents coming in out of Tennessee. One of them, he does 250 homes monthly over there, closes. And that was his comment to me, that he needs an office. That gets him going. Real super nice guy, fun. He's like, I don't even know how to sell. He said, but he heard about you, right? And we talked. He had that comical accent. Hey, my wife's on. I got her screen on.
Oh, there she is.
She brought me into EXP. But anyway, so he and I were joking around. And I'm like, well, you got a Regis office near you? You know, they're all over the place down here. I'm like, yeah, there's your office. You
There's
go
your
there every
office.
day if you want. I can use it for free. EXP gives me that, you know.
Yep.
And so we were, you know, we just were chopping everything up, and he said he's gonna be on the call, but you know,
Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. COVID, as bad as it is, as terrible as it is, we all hate the doggone thing. In the last year, since COVID started in March of 2000, whatever it was, 20, I have not had that question. Nobody calls me now and says, where's your office? They used to before. They don't anymore. They just don't. COVID did away with that. Put the nail in the coffin of bricks and mortar. Do you understand? I have managers of other real estate companies that are friends of mine, managers that have not gone back into their offices. They're not going back. They go, look I've been helping people sell homes now for a year without an office.
Yeah.
They can't force me to come back. So even the managers aren't coming back.
Well, that was one of the things I saw when I was in California with Berta. Just the other day, there's right by the condo we have over there, there is 3 large business office buildings totally vacant. And they're brand new. They're almost brand new.
Yeah.
Totally vacant. I drove over to Google and Yahoo and a couple of, there's 10 cars in the parking lot, Gene. It is,
I know.
everybody's working from home.
Yeah.
Everything is virtual.
And this is going to go, you know, our Verbella, which we use, is really good. And then people are going to start using it in other companies, right? It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the fact that I can work from anywhere. Do you guys have one of these little things? Anybody have one of these? Okay. Just so you know, in 2007, when the smartphone came out, that was the minute that happened, I was running real estate offices. I went, my agents are no longer here. They didn't have to be there. They can write contracts on this. They can pull up the MLS with this. They can even find their way around. I have friends like Fee Gentry. If you know Fee, she can't find her way around anywhere, I found out. She is so directionally challenged. She goes, Gene, I need to find. No. So everything's on this. That's when it blew up for me, for virtual, for real estate agents. Because literally I can get everything I want on this, right? I could be on the Zoom with this. I could be on anything. So I ran 2 of the largest offices for Keller Williams ever. The last office I ran was 641 agents. I was going in as the manager because that's what they told me to do every day, and nobody was there. That was 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. And everybody went, I said, where are they? I don't know, but I'm here because that's what we were told to do. And you guys weren't there.
Yeah.
I was there.
Producers are out doing
So,
things.
so what's happened since 2014 and now to make people go back to a physical space? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. In fact, it's gone the other way. So I don't mind you guys getting your own space, like you said, or saying, I want to go to, even when I worked out of my home, guys, I had, like, this is my son-in-law's office at his home. He's got all his junk over here. I mean, this is his office. You know, he might come in here every day and close the door and work to get him focused. But other than that, I would not pay for space in Palo Alto ever again. Do you know what my lease was in Palo Alto? $48,000 a month for 7 years. And I personally guaranteed that. And I did not tell Susan about it till the 7 years was up. Hey, I am a smart man. Believe me. And then I said, I have never signed another lease in my life because that could have made us go down.
Oh yeah.
So guys, don't get me started on space, because space, you know, is just old way of thinking. You know, I don't know about you guys. When's the last time you were on a train? When's the last time you were on a Greyhound bus? I don't know. There was other ways I used to travel. I mean, but quite honestly, put me on a plane or I don't go anywhere, or on an 80-foot catamaran, Sunreef catamaran. Look it up tonight.
Shotgun.
Sunreef 80-foot catamaran.
Hi, I'm Gladys.
Hey, Gladys.
Hi, I just have a real quick comment. I do think that we also though need to keep in mind that a lot of our clients are not maybe on the level that financially, that we are or that we aspire to be. So there is still a large element of society who still do want to meet in person, or who still maybe don't have the capability of doing everything remotely and trusting everything remotely, because they just don't have the skill set or something. So I think that I think we're, like you said, it's getting there and it's going to be there, but there's still a large, part of the population who will still want to, not necessarily in an office though, but still want to meet with you and go look here and there and then still communicate with you the old fashioned way.
Well, I believe that. Now, I didn't say not meet with people. I just said don't meet with them in a physical office that says EXP above it.
Right.
I mean, I've sold homes for a long time, guys. And even when I sold homes, I'd meet people at the best coffee shop before Starbucks even. Because I just wanted to meet people, and people will meet you anywhere. I always did one-on-ones. And the same with real estate agents. If you're trying to recruit somebody in your local market, meet with them in person. Boy, is it better. I mean, I'm still a proponent of meeting with people in person if I can. Heck, I'll drive 4 hours to meet somebody in Houston. I mean, I'll drive 4 hours to meet somebody in person in Houston rather than do a Zoom with them if they want to meet with me. Why would I do that? Because I know it works. So I'm not saying, yeah, you're exactly right. Not everybody's is tech savvy, but here's the thing. Not everybody knows about us.
Nope.
So it's our job to go. A lot of people don't even know even who EXP is. Right? You read the articles. I read all the articles in real estate. Guys, just so you know, I'm not a Renaissance man. I've been in real estate 38 years. This is all I know. Don't ask me to play the piano or the guitar. I just don't know. I know real estate. I'm a real estate dude. I read all the articles. It's my gig. And I read the articles and they go, oh, at Inman, Compass and EXP are doing well. I wonder which one's going to make it. And I'm thinking, why are you putting us with Compass? It's the old model. That's Realogy. That's Coldwell Banker. I said, that's not even us. But they jumble it around like all the companies are the same. We're not. We're not. By the way, I just saw that Compass has about 10,000 agents. Okay, cool. We got 60,000.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're global.
and we've been open about the same amount of time. See, their whole model was to go into major cities. Well, we can go anywhere, right? Texas is a big doggone state. Do you know we're in almost every single MLS in Texas? Nobody's doing that. We're the largest single broker in Texas with 7,500 agents. It's phenomenal. We've done that in 6 years. 6 years.
I think we have more than Keller Williams here now in Arizona.
Oh, really?
I think that was what I was reading the other day. I think we were surpassed 3,000 agents here.
The old Barry Kramer, Scott Agnew,
Yeah.
Scott Crouch, all those guys are buddies of mine.
Oh yeah.
And I know all those owners, right? But it was owner driven. Yeah, I know, Scott. They're owner driven. Okay. I'm not owner driven now. I'm agent driven. That's what I tell people when they go, well, what's the difference? I said, it's a big difference. I like the fact that agents get money off the top. It's called revenue share.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Sure.
One, because I'm not afraid to go to the top. So I'm reaching out to the president of Coldwell Banker, this new guy they just hired. He's only been there a little bit, but I'm hearing that there's something about there has to be an open period every 5 years before you can talk to somebody at the top. Is that true?
No, here's what I would tell you. I don't know what you mean by the owner. Is he an owner of a franchise?
Well, I mean, they just hired him, so I don't know if he's not the owner of the franchise, but I don't know if he's an owner in the company because they just hired him to be the president of their group in San Diego.
Gotcha. I don't know. Here's my thing. you've got to understand the whole structure of our real estate industry for a long time was become a manager, then a regional director. And I did all those things. I went up the ladder. I was a salaried employee. It's very hard to talk to salaried employees sometimes because they get used to the money they're an employee, right? They're not in sales like I used to be. So people like that look for jobs. It doesn't mean they won't come, but they're going to give up their salary to come over and try to build revshare, which is a little bit different than in sales. You're already selling and you can keep selling and then build your revshare, and it's a lot easier. And actually a lot of my buddies are still at KW, tons of them, because they own a lot of offices. They are the owner. They're not wanting to give that up. It's easier, just tell you this, it's easier to talk to top agents, quite honestly.
And do you still show them the video?
Well, of course. And you want to show it with them if you can. I think we're having better results if you say, hey, let's look at the video together. Stop it after 10 minutes. Any questions on that? Show 10 more minutes, stop it. The people that are doing it on a regular basis tell me they're doing it like that. It's a lot easier. Rather than if you send somebody a video and say, will you look at it? What do you think of the odds they're going to look at it?
Not going to do
20%.
Yeah,
they're not going to look at, I got that service where you can actually have people, when they go to look at it, you get an email. So of course, I promise you I'll look at it. I never get that. So I know they didn't look at it. Yeah.
That's costing you money.
Right. But,
Hey,
in commercial, it's a little different also. I mean, I am focusing on residential people, but, because I don't have that residential background, unless they're a high producer, they really need to be in a team. Like I just talked to somebody today, and this gentleman here from Virginia, where'd he go? She needs a team. She wants a team. She wants to know if there's mentors. So, and I need that for them because I'm not that. And I know the really good people wouldn't need that, but I mean, it is important to them, some people. But on the commercial side, what I've been asking for, can't we just get a short video to show people? Because they do that, every Thursday morning, but it's 45 minutes long. Nobody wants to sit there that long. I just need a short video. And you can't, I can't edit their videos, because I can't download it from there. So anyway, we're working on it, but it would be easier for me if I've had a short video because nobody wants to pay 45 minutes.
Yep, that's true. Hey, pull up if you guys want to, if you're bored, not bored, but you want to become a millionaire. How's that? Rather than if you want to be bored. Pull up Gene Fredrick on YouTube and look at my napkin presentation. Now, my napkin presentation, you need to watch it because that's the way you can explain revenue share really simple, really concise. Because when you start showing somebody 7 levels with percentages, most realtors just go blank. So please look at the napkin presentation. It's on there a couple times. I was doing it for EXP people a few years ago because I said, I got to be able to do an elevator speech on RevShare. Okay. Please do that for me. And then the other one that I would do if you really want to get into attraction, because you guys need vision boards, you need to pull up Rob Flick, F-L-I-C-K, Rob Flick, and he does his what's called his wealth chart. And it's a presentation on how to do it, but I'm telling you, that's a must for anybody that's wanting, because once you do your wealth chart and you put it up there, and I did my wealth chart 6 years ago and put it in my driveway, huge on cardboard, where every day I drove in and I had to see it.
Really?
Yeah. So in other words, put it where you got to look at it. If you have kids, here's what I recommend. This is a Pat Hayes thing. He had his kids updating his wealth chart every day. So they would go, okay, did you recruit somebody today so I can put their name up here?
Oh, wow.
Have fun with it. Have fun with it, guys. But you need to keep track of this stuff. That's why the wealth chart is important. The napkin presentation is important. And then it's only, there's no magic scripts, just magic action. That's my new thing, because everybody thinks there's something special that Rob Flick has said or I have said. It's not true. It's just the fact that we know the business, we know realtors, and we're not afraid to talk to anybody.
my wife has a question for you.
Sure.
Well, and I don't want this to turn into like a weird Zillow bashing fest, but my question for you, Gene, and you don't have to say too much, but when I first saw that Zillow is starting all this stuff, I was not scared because to me, EXP is the best model because it combines technology with still the person aspect. And so whenever I get anybody complaining, well, not complaining, but saying like, well, I'm just going to go with Zillow, it's so much easier, this and that. That's when you don't get that personal aspect like Gladys was talking about. So if you do get that agent that's like, you know, I'm not going anywhere, or maybe I'm just going to join Zillow. Like, what do you say to that when they're just so like gung ho, like that's the future, that's it?
Well, here's the thing I would say. Number one, we are the largest single broker in the United States right now. And we're in 15 other countries. We're going to be in 5 more by the end of this year. So remember this script. We'll have 20 countries by the end of this year. We have already contracted with Showcase IDX, we bought them, to create a portal like Zillow. So we're working on it. And they go, what do you mean? I go, well, why hasn't anybody competed with Zillow? You know why they haven't? Because the franchises have a hard time doing it because they got to get all the franchise owners to give them information. With us, we're going to get everybody to give us information because we're all one broker. Okay? And we can go into those MLSs and get all the information. So we are going to have a portal, we feel, within a year or two to combat Zillow, and we're going to give those leads to our agents. There you go. Okay?
Awesome. Yeah,
That's what I would say. And here's the other thing I would say. If somebody says, I want to go to RE/MAX because of this or whatever company, I just let them go. I have never been able to talk anybody into this gig. I got news for you. All I've done is say, I'm very positive. You never, ever, ever say a bad word about the competition. The reason is we're going to sell homes with them forever. So I think there's enough agents and enough business all over the world. We'll never, get rid of anybody. There'll always be competition. So I just say, I love my competitors. I loved RE/MAX when I was there. I loved Realty Executives when I was there. I loved Keller Williams when I was there. And now I love EXP. And let's go sell real estate together. And if they go, well, how do you compare to KW? I said, I don't know. Go see them. They go, what do you mean? I said, I've been gone for 6 years. How do you compare it against RE/MAX? I said, I have no idea what their model is like. All I know is our model is so different because the agents are benefiting from all of this. Stock, rev share, stock, rev share. Hey, do you guys know Sherry Elliott? If you don't know, you could contact her, but Sherry's the first mega agent I got in Dallas 5 years ago, because I've been here 6 years, but it took me a year to get a mega agent. When I made my mega agent, she was selling 200 homes a year. She became an icon like this, like in 2 months. Do you understand what her $16,000 is 5 years later? Her $16,000 worth of stock is 1.5 million.
What?
Now, that was the first year she became an icon. She's been an icon with us 5 years. So she could have stayed at KW and sold her 200 units, which she kept selling them with us. 5 years later, she has almost $9 million worth of stock. She did the 5% with a 10% discount, and she became an icon every year. She goes, Gene, this is unbelievable. I said, I know. We've revolutionized the industry. There's nobody at Coldwell Banker that's got that. There's nobody at RE/MAX that's got that. And Keller Williams, nobody at Keller Williams has got that. They keep saying they're going to become a company and give stock. Do you think when they go public, they're going to give them just stock to the agents? What do you guys think?
No.
They're not going to be given. They could buy it. I mean, heck, we could buy their stock, right? I might buy some of their stock just to buy it. But what I'm saying is it's not like us. With us, you can earn it. There's 5 different ways you can earn it. It's cool. Right? You guys got to know those and just tell them it's different. I think it's different because of the culture.
Yeah.
Because after being here 6 years, I've never been in a company where everybody will help each other, ever. I mean, craziness. I could text anybody in my cell phone that's an EXP agent and say, hey, can you talk to me tomorrow? I need a question. They would contact me back. It's weird. It's a different feel. It's a different feel.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, for me, I'm on Workplace constantly. I just think it's the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, that's how I, connect with everybody.
Yep. Oh, and I think, and guys, I talk to agents that go, gosh, I was at Remax for 20 years and I came over here and I got 3 referrals the first week. What's going on here? How did they find me? What's good? I said, did you go in the cloud and meet somebody at one of the trainings, or did you, there's so many ways, like you said, Workplace, getting into meetings. I'll go into a meeting and people will go, Gene, I haven't seen you in a while. How are you? Oh, I said, I'm pretty good, but how's my avatar look? We start joking,
Mine is skinny.
Hey, you can do it. Hey, it's so funny.
Mine is young.
I think it's like, I hope it's like heaven, because we're supposed to all be 30 years old again. I hope that all works. So I can be 30 once again, but.
Gene, I recently watched that Rob Flick video, which was great to see again. And I mean, it does very clearly explain everything. When would you show somebody that? If somebody was really savvy, would you show that to them right away?
No, I'd wait until they come over. It'd be part of my package with them. Yeah. Not everybody's going to be into revshare, guys. It's just not everybody's going to be into revshare. In other words, it's about them, right? I mean, I've recruited agents to EXP that didn't want stock or revshare, and I helped them do more production. And then 6 months later, they'd go, okay, Gene, what's this revshare thing? This looks kind of cool. So I just had one recently. She'd been with us 3 years. She's been an icon. And she just called me and said, okay, I want to do the revshare now. Cool. Okay. So in other words, it's all about them anyway. She goes, I wanted to make sure I became an icon 3 years in a row so I can talk to icons. And I said, cool, let's go.
Wow.
Gene, along those lines, obviously EXP offers healthcare. I work in healthcare. I've been in for like 18 years. So I always had Ken and I on my employers. Well, I finally looked into the healthcare about maybe a month ago. And I was like, what? It's amazing. It's really not that expensive compared to what I was paying just for premiums. So anybody on here, if you're interested in getting the healthcare, or if you have somebody that's really curious about it, just have them contact me and I'll tell them the journey that I went through getting Ken and I on it. I will never go back to regular healthcare that I had through my employer working in healthcare.
Yeah, our benefits are better. We're paying less.
It's cheaper. Yes. And so anybody that's interested or thinking about it, just contact me. I'll tell you all about it. It's amazing.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's a big thing. That's been a big thing. You don't know what's going to hit them. You just don't know what's going to hit them. So you kind of got to go over everything, but asking them questions, you'll get to know what they want.
Well, it's 5 after 7, and I promise to be conscious of time. Gene, we appreciate you coming, man. And
thank you.
Marino, Roger, thank you. Dawn, you stayed awake. Dawn stayed awake the whole time. I can't believe it. Scott was in and out. Joyce has the coolest finger I know, because Joyce was like fingering the thing. I have no idea. And Tori's awesome. I never remember meeting Tori before. But thank you guys.
Yeah.
I'm here for you guys anytime. I can't wait to see the people in Dallas. I'll be in Dallas for it's going to be a great event. Or if I see you in November, when we
in November for sure.
November in Vegas. We're going back to Vegas.
Oh my gosh, Vegas? Yes.
Yes, November, Vegas.
Yes. Yep.
Woo-hoo.
Yes.
That's all.
Remember, everything has to stay there. Everything must stay there.
You'll see me on the slot machines, guys. You'll see me on the slot machines.
Roulette.
See you guys later.
Thanks for
Setting it up.
this together. This is awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Awesome.
Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Gene.
Right. God bless. Love and blessings.
Bless everybody.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get with you. I'm in commercial as well.
Oh, you are? Awesome. Let's connect on Workplace. And Roger, do you know of any good teams in the area in Virginia?
Say
Teams.
again?
Do you know of any teams, EXP teams in your area?
Yes. Where's the person live?
Well, I'm going to find all that out and I'm going to get in touch with you. I wrote your name down. if
Okay,
that's
because Terry has a pretty good team in Virginia Beach.
Okay.
And then there's Erin has one up in Richmond. And I like her and I like Terry. He's pretty good. She's good. There's a couple other ones up in Northern Virginia. I haven't explored all of them yet, but I do know a few of them.
Awesome, Roger. Nice to be in touch. And I'll
I
reach
run a
out to you in
pretty
Workplace.
sizable-
What do you do? I'm sorry.
I have about 20 agents. My wife and I about 26 now.
In Arizona,
Yeah,
right?
full training program and everything that we've put together. And I travel all over teaching, coaching, and training.
Is your team just in Arizona?
No, we're all over the place.
Are you?
In fact, Joyce is in Michigan. We're in Tennessee. We're in Florida. We're in California. And we're just expanding all over. We've got an agent coming on in Hong Kong.
Wow.
Awesome.
So,
And did that work the same for you? Do they just go in your, like normal?
yeah, they go right into your downline of people. They list you as your sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
Just the training that they receive is different, obviously.
Yeah.
Depending if they're commercial or residential. But I got into doing both and picking up a lot more commercial people than I am residential, actually.
How are you doing it? How are you picking them up?
It's just been word of mouth, to be honest with you. I have one $3 million listing here, which is a body shop. And, you start meeting people and talking to them. And then, people come and look at the building. I picked up 2 more buyers that, they didn't want that big a building or they wanted one bigger, and I've got buyers that way. So it's coming pretty good. Well, that concludes our show for today. We thank you for joining us. I'm Dr. Goins. I just want to say thank you for joining in, and we want you to come back next week for more and bring a friend. Tell somebody about what TGRI is doing and how we're trying to bring real estate professionals all together in one area. Don't forget to check out the description box below for a link to our weekly Zoom calls. We hope you join us then, and may God's best be yours. See you then.